So guys, today I'm going to make a review on Platinum Carbon ink by the brand Pilot. It's a waterproof ink. So I'm loading my pen, which is Parker Metallics Vector red color pen with that ink. Actually, I'm not loading it. This pen and the ink filled in it was gifted to me by a friend. So I'm just testing the sample for you, and it's my first ever review of fountain pen. And the pen I'm using is a fine nib, and right now I'm writing on a good quality A4 size sheet. So as you can see, it's pretty good. The ink seems to dry up pretty fast on an A4 size paper. There is very slight smearing on rubbing my fingers across it immediately, which is almost negligible. Right now I'm putting a drop of water on it. Let's absorb it for a while. It makes almost no difference, no visible difference at all. It's completely waterproof, guys, completely waterproof. Right now this is surgical spirit, which is used in hospitals. It's 95% ethanol. As you can see, there is no smearing at all with a surgical spirit. Right now I'll use a sanitizer, a standard sanitizer, hand sanitizer. There doesn't seem to be much of a difference either. In fact, no difference. Now I'll just use a drop of oil. I don't really expect anything to happen because oil as such is not expected to react with a fountain pen ink, but just let's experiment. Okay, no, as expected. Even if a ink is not waterproof, you can expect fountain pen inks to be non-reactive to oil. It's quite expected, actually, very much expected. That was a satisfactory test. Now let's try writing on a standard notebook, a school notebook of Classmate. Indian audience can relate to it pretty well. Classmate notebooks, it's believed to be among the best quality notebooks for a school going child or a college going student. But unfortunately, there is quite a bit of smearing. But alcohol has made almost no difference to it. It's non-reactive to alcohol. Now let's see if there is any bleed through. As you can see, in both the A4 size paper and the Classmate standard notebook paper, there is a bit of bleed through on the back side of the page. However, here is something I would like to add from my personal experience, that although the pen which I have used has a fine nib, but from my personal experience I've observed that the red color of Parker Metallics Vector fine nib has somewhat a broader nib compared to an actual fine nib. It's not that fine. So I would say you can go for a fine nib of any other brand, or even a Parker Vector Metallics of any other pen color rather than red. Next, I'm just going to show a few static images which I have clicked after I smeared the ink at regular intervals. The first one is a A4 size computer sheet, the same as I had used earlier. And as you can see, the drying is pretty good with hardly any smearing, absolutely waterproof, and absolutely fast drying, which is very rare. Usually waterproof inks do not dry that fast. So as you can see, awesome ink. The next will go to a classmate notebook paper, the standard school notebook which we use in India. And as you can see, it's not drying at all. Almost a 10-second drying time, you could say. Almost a 10-second drying time. So basically, now for the fountain pen amateurs, I would like to provide an extra information. Why is drying time so important? To a right-handed writer, a drying time would not matter much. That's because as you write the sentence, you are not going to smear the previous words as such. But for someone who is a lefty or who writes languages that run from right to left, as Urdu, they can face quite a bit of problem. So that's it for today, guys. And this ink, it does not belong to me. This is something which I recommended a friend who asked me on my opinion for a waterproof ink, and out of gratitude for the same, he bought a pen and filled it with ink and gave me a sample to try out. And I thought, why not make this as the first video of my fountain pen review series. So thank you guys, hope you enjoyed the video.